Welcome everyone to the deep dive. Today we're stepping into some really chilling territory. We've collected some personal accounts, real life encounters that are, well, genuinely terrifying.
These aren't just spooky stories. They're experiences that made people question the very nature of reality.
Exactly. Moments that just ripped everything apart for them. We're going to share these stories, bring you face to face with what happened, and maybe try to unpack them a little. This is brought to you by Docx, so brace yourselves.
It's the intensity of these personal narratives, isn't it? And how often you find these strange common threads, even from people who've never met, totally different backgrounds.
Absolutely. It forces you to look past the easy answers. Okay, let's start in Michigan. This covers 2 summers, 2009 and 2010. The person involved, they'd dealt with sleep paralysis before, but this was different.
Okay.
So 2009, they wake up, TV's on, feels like they haven't been asleep long. They try to pull the blanket off their face, and their hand just passes right through it.
Wow. Like no substance.
None. Total panic sets in. They jump out of bed, feel dizzy, numb, thought maybe it was a stroke or something. They run for the door to get their parents, reach for the doorknob. Hand goes straight through it.
Oh,
and then through the door itself, the sheer terror, thinking, I'm dead, I can't touch anything. It was overwhelming. Then, suddenly, like a zap, they're back in bed, blankets up, but now they can grab it, pull it off.
Just snapped back.
Instantly.
Yeah.
They bolted out of that room, didn't sleep for the rest of the night. You can imagine.
I really can't. The terror of that disconnect.
Then, fast forward a year, 2010, they decide to take a nap. Just drifting off, cell phone rings. Annoying, right? So they answer it. Static at first, then this broken voice that keeps saying, hello, hello. Finally, the voice clears up and it says, chillingly, hello, I need you to do me a favor.
Okay. Creepy, but could be a prank call.
That's what they thought. Played along, asked what the favor was, and that's when it just shifted. The voice went from pleasant to this deep, guttural, demonic growl, just screaming, look! Yeah. They completely freaked out, threw the phone hard across the room, said it shattered against the wall, and then the entire house starts shaking, like a massive earthquake. Vision goes blurry, distorted.
A physical manifestation again.
Exactly. They squeeze their eyes shut, just praying. When they open them, back in bed, phone right beside them, totally fine. No call history. Only a few minutes had passed since they first lay down.
These experiences, they really push past typical sleep paralysis, don't they?
Yeah.
You have the core elements, the paralysis, the vivid hallucinations, that feeling between sleep and wakefulness.
Right, the hypnagogic state.
Precisely. But the consistency of the physical sensations, the house shaking, the phone seemingly shattering and then being intact.
Yeah.
It makes a purely internal brain glitch explanation feel, well, incomplete.
It's that jump, isn't it? From feeling helpless in your own body to feeling like your environment is under attack. Is there anything that connects those two? That intense internal fear projecting outwards?
That's the million-dollar question, really. Psychologically, extreme stress can cause physical symptoms, sure. But an earthquake, a shattered phone, that suggests a level of externalization that's hard to scientifically pin down.
So it's like psychic energy influencing things.
Some theories delve into that, yes. Parapsychology talks about intense emotional states potentially influencing the immediate environment. But it's deep in conjecture territory. What's undeniable and the reality of the experience for the person, the profound impact, it felt utterly real to them.
Okay, let's shift from that disorientation to something maybe even more direct. The Shadow Man and the Silver Cord. This one comes from Yonkers, New York. The narrator mentions seeing shadow people for a long time, feeling watched.
A common precursor of that feeling.
Right, but the main event was December 1998. They were 16, came home tired from a church thing, went to bed early, woke up from a nightmare being chased, trying to calm down, heart pounding, and then they saw it.
What was it?
A shadow near the closet door, but described as distinctly darker than other shadows, and it had bright red eyes.
Red eyes. That's a recurring detail in these accounts.
And this palpable sense of evil just filled the room. The shadow walked over to the bed, looked down at them, and then plunged its hand right into their chest.
Oh, that's horrifying.
They felt this bright silver cord, like a rope being pulled out of them, felt themselves lifting, like almost floating, and the thought just screamed in their head, oh my God, he's trying to take my soul.
The silver cord again.
Yeah.
That connection between the physical and astral body in some beliefs.
Yeah. So instinct kicks in, they grab the cord too. It becomes this literal tug of war. The shadow's stronger, pulling them up. Then just utter terror, and they remember the Hail Mary prayer. Started reciting it in their head.
Did it work?
Instantly, the shadow stopped pulling, looked down, and they felt this wave of just hatred, pure hatred, and a voice in their head clear as day. I had won this time, but the next time. Yeah. Then the shadow opened its hand. The cord just snapped back into their body like a rubber band, hit so hard they jumped. But when they looked, the shadow was still standing there. Then they properly woke up.
Wow. That combines so many potent elements. The shadow person phenomenon, which is global, really, often explained away as hallucinations or pareidolia.
Seeing faces and patterns.
Exactly. But the red eyes, the direct physical assault, the silver cord symbolism, that elevates it. And then the synchronicity you mentioned, the cousin in Nicaragua.
Right, same month, December 98. Attacked by a red-eyed shadow figure too. Left physical handprints on her neck.
That detail is incredibly compelling. It suggests something beyond just isolated internal experiences. It points towards potentially a shared phenomenon, maybe even something targeting that family.
And the prayer working, that act of resistance seems key.
It really does. In so many accounts, whether it's prayer, specific symbol, invoking a name, that act of faith-based resistance seems to be the turning point. Psychologically, it's empowering, a focus against fear. Spiritually, believers would say it's channeling a real protective force.
The shadow's reaction, that palpable hatred, really drives that home.
It suggests the invocation wasn't just ignored, it was actively opposed, challenged its power.
Okay, let's move to Killeen, Texas. This woman's experiences started really young, after she nearly drowned.
Trauma can sometimes be a trigger or heightened sensitivity.
Seems like it. She started having violent dreams. Then she'd see this weird film or veil-like mist over her mother's face, which would morph into a snarling man's face.
That's deeply disturbing.
It escalated as she got older, became what she felt were physical attacks by a demon. One specific incident, waking up, completely unable to breathe, pinned down, saw a black mass sitting on her chest. Couldn't scream, couldn't move, just pure helplessness.
Again, the paralysis and the crushing weight. Hallmarks, but terrifyingly real.
And it links to a friend's experience, too. The friend woke up hearing steps, felt paralyzed, but started reciting scripture. Then a darkness spoke, told her God wouldn't help her because she was a sinner, that she was damned.
That targeted psychological attack.
Yeah.
It's cruel, undermining faith right when it's needed most.
But then there's this other layer, a guy named Seth. Before they even dated, he said weird stuff like, emotionally, I need a child. Huge red flag, right?
It's definitely unsettling.
Her gut feeling screamed, no! And then she had this nightmare. So vivid. Heard a bang, saw Seth's face glaring through her sister's window. Then he burst in with a knife.
Oh, well.
She woke up shaking, immediately blocked him on everything. A few days later, call from a weird number. It's Seth, angry, asking why she blocked him. She's convinced that nightmare was a premonition, a warning that saved her from a controlling, dangerous relationship.
That's fascinating. You have the classic potential sleep paralysis symptoms.
Yeah.
The black mass, the inability to breathe, but then woven in are these intrusive, malevolent thoughts, and this incredibly specific, seemingly precognitive dream that was then validated.
How do those things even connect? The physical feeling, the dark thoughts, and then a warning about a real person.
It's complex. Maybe the heightened state, perhaps linked to the earlier trauma or the ongoing experiences, made her more receptive, more intuitive. The mind tries to make sense of it, maybe translating that intuition into a vivid, symbolic dream. Or perhaps it's genuinely tapping into something foresightful. The lines blur.
Blurring lines seems to be the theme here. Okay, next one. A family where paranormal stuff supposedly runs in the family.
Right.
This started after the narrator's sister's friend died in a car crash. Their shared bedroom just started feeling wrong. The air felt thicker. The energy was off.
That atmospheric change again.
And then the man in my room started appearing, described as a black, smoky mass, almost ceiling height. Utterly terrified the narrator. They couldn't sleep in there for 2 years. Felt like it was just staring, keeping them away from their sister.
Interesting. Protective, almost, from the entity's perspective.
That's possessive. Hard to say. The narrator felt threatened. The sister, though. She thought it might be her dead friend trying to protect her from her own depression.
That dual interpretation is common. One person's terrifying shadow is another's guardian, however unsettling the form. Crisis apparitions, sometimes.
So, the very last night the narrator tried sleeping in there. Had a dream about a ghost reaching out, woke up suddenly, feeling pressed down hard, like someone shaking them awake.
Physical contact.
Yeah, they instinctively slapped their hand down, thinking it was their mom or sister, hit nothing. But then they looked and saw the indentation of a giant hand on the bed slowly fading away.
Whoa. A disappearing physical trace. That definitely pushes it beyond just a feeling or a vision.
Understandably, they spent the rest of the night in their mom's room.
The handprint reinforces that sense of a tangible interaction, whether it was the smoky mass or something else entirely. Protective or not, that's unnerving.
Let's switch gears completely. Gardendale, Alabama, 1979. Narrator's 9 years old, wakes up one night, wide awake, sees a small figure standing next to the bed. Described as white and glow, looked young, female. But here's the strange part. The narrator felt zero fear. Absolutely none. Just curiosity. They stared at it stared back, didn't move, didn't speak.
No fear. That's unusual for seeing an unexpected figure.
Right. They realize their sister's asleep nearby. After what felt like ages, they wake the sister up. Both kids bolt for their parents' bed. The sister saw it too. Years later, the mom confirmed it somehow, saying, "I know you saw it." The narrator thinks it was a guardian angel, precisely because of that lack of fear.
The emotional response, or lack thereof, often dictates the interpretation. Absence of fear leans towards benevolent.
Now, hold that thought. Contrast it with this story from Middlesboro, Kentucky, told by a father. And get this, he was a devout Christian, a Baptist deacon. Did not believe in ghosts, creatures, any of it.
Makes his account carry extra weight, perhaps?
Definitely. He's cleaning out the underfloor of his house. It's just packed dirt beneath the floor joists. Moves a big rock, finds this perfectly smooth, rounded hole leading into a tunnel under another rock.
Okay.
He shines his flashlight in. Hears something running towards the opening from deeper in the tunnel. He jumps back, and quick as a flash, this thing emerges.
What did it look like?
Stood on its hind legs, long tail, pointed ears, its paws or hands were balled up into fists, glaring at him, stomping its feet, hissing, spitting. Then it turned and ran back down the tunnel.
And his description?
His words, "A little red devil."
Wow. Direct, visceral, malevolent.
His reaction, immediate, decisive. "I poured cement into that hole. End of story."
That contrast is stark, isn't it? The serene, white, fear-free figure interpreted as angelic, and this aggressive, red, clearly hostile creature met with immediate action to contain it. It shows the massive spectrum of these perceived encounters.
That instinct just, nope, sealing this off. What does that say?
Primal need for safety. When something shatters your reality and seems hostile, the first instinct is often containment. Build a wall. Seal the breach. Reassert control over the known world, even if it's just pouring cement.
Makes sense. Okay, Hollywood, California. Around 2004, 2005, narrator's only 6 or 7, Christian family, believed in God and Satan, good and evil.
So a framework already exists for this kind of thing.
Right. Wakes up middle of the night, lamps on, thinks it's grandpa in the chair. But it's not. It's someone dressed all in black, holding a book covering their face. Hands are a weird, waxy gray color.
Unsettling start.
Then the book lowers, and the face. Narrator says eye sockets were sunken in like 3 inches deep, eyes were completely black, mouth completely black, and black veins running from the lower lip down the neck.
That black-eyed imagery. Deeply disturbing, very common in modern folklore accounts of negative entities.
They're instantly paralyzed with fear, can't move, can't scream. The figure opens its mouth, speaks in some language they didn't know, sounded Middle Eastern to their young ears.
The unknown language adds another layer of otherness, of ancient dread.
Somehow they managed to whisper, "Jesus, jump out of bed, dive into Grandpa's bed," and then nothing. It was gone. But the image, the terror, never left them.
Again, the invocation of faith as a defense mechanism. And the black eyes, the unknown tongue, it taps into those deep archetypal fears of something fundamentally non-human and malevolent. The cultural background provides the lens and the defense.
Does the type of language matter, even if it's just a kid's guess? Does Middle Eastern tap into something specific?
Less the specific label, perhaps, and more the feeling it evokes. Ancient, foreign, incomprehensible. It signifies something outside our known world, something potentially ancient and powerful, not bound by our rules or language. That's the core of the fear it generates.
Okay, let's jump back in time and across the world. Islamabad, Pakistan, late 60s or early 70s. This is the narrator's mother's story when she was a teen.
Right.
Family moved into new government housing surrounded by woods, got really dark and spooky at night, started having weird experiences, sleep paralysis, lights flickering, noises.
The classic haunting style phenomena.
And this really strange thing, all the siblings, no matter how hard they tried, would fall asleep exactly at midnight. Every night.
That's oddly specific, like a curfew imposed by something.
Right. So one night, they're talking about the entity they felt during sleep paralysis. The mother, probably trying to be brave, or maybe just joking, boasts, if this thing came again, she was going to hit its head with a shoe.
Uh-oh. Famous last words in these stories sometimes.
Pretty much. That night, they're all sleeping in one room for safety. Sometime later, the mother sits bolt upright in bed, eyes closed, and starts repeating, "Hit the head with a shoe, hit the head with a shoe," over and over.
But it's a man's voice coming out of her mouth.
Possessed speech, that's terrifying.
Her older uncle hears this, gets up, grabs his actual shoe, and just hits her on the head with it.
He actually did it.
He did, and poof, she immediately just lies back down, goes back to sleep. Normal. The narrator's chilling takeaway. So the demon took his revenge.
That is one of the strangest, most direct interactions I've heard. The verbal challenge, the entity seemingly responding through her, demanding the very action she threatened. It's bizarrely literal, almost retaliatory. And the uncle's pragmatic response.
It's almost darkly funny if it wasn't so terrifying. That weird mix. Exactly. It throws you off balance. It's not playing by the spooky ghost rules. That unpredictability, that almost absurd level of interaction, combined with genuine menace, makes it deeply unsettling. It defies categorization.
Definitely. Okay, final accounts here. These deal with intense manifestations and cleansing. First, an apartment building that used to be an insane asylum. 9 years of experiences.
High potential for residual energy there.
One night, power outage. They light candles near some Christ paintings. Narrator wakes up to a horrifying demonic presence at the foot of the bed. Couldn't see it, but the sound.
What did it sound like?
Described as a cow being slaughtered, combined with a full-grown roaring lion and grizzly bear. Unbearable sound. Caused chest pain, total paralysis for maybe 20 seconds, then gone. They did a cleansing later with palm leaves, olive oil, felt peace afterwards.
The sound itself is a weapon almost, and the cleansing providing relief.
But things continued. Another time felt the devil himself emerge from the bathroom. Saw it as a dark figure in the spiritual realm. Made the sign of the cross, it vanished. Saw red eyes staring through the window 3 stories up. A little black imp tried to get in, but then a huge angel appeared with a sword and shot the imp away.
Wow. Full-on spiritual warfare perceived there. Protection appearing alongside the menace.
Now, connected to this person, Orion, a group trip in May 2007 to the Manson Caves in Simi Valley. Notorious spot.
Right, associated with dark history.
They snuck in, found a small hole someone had painted hellhole around, dropped a rock in, seemed incredibly deep, found another cave entrance. Suddenly this thick fog rolls in super fast, couldn't see anything, then growling sounds, loud footsteps nearby. They panicked and ran.
Intense. Environmental anomalies plus auditory phenomena.
But they went back with more kids, entered these caves described as damned evil, army crawling, navigating drops, swinging on ropes. Then the atmosphere changed. Whispering sounds turned into laughter. Realized some friends were just gone. Walkie-talkies went to static.
Classic isolation and sensory deprivation tactics almost.
Then they saw him, a crazy-looking old man. Pale skin, nothing in his eyes, just laughing mindlessly.
An apparition. Or something else.
Unclear. They tried to escape. Orion felt something grab their leg, looked back, saw the old man for a split second before he vanished. Then, all 3 remaining friends simultaneously felt like snakes were slithering all over them. Screaming, they finally got out.
That shared tactile hallucination is powerful. The snakes. Very symbolic.
Later, Orion gets a call from their grandmother, who's the psychic medium. She immediately says, "Honey, what the hell did you just bring into my house?"
She sensed it.
Instantly. Set a demon latched on to Orion in those caves. They did a cleansing. During it, the room shook. Orion felt strangled, saw a huge shadow-like thing vanish through the wall. Grandma explained the demon was waiting for a chance to possess, and Orion's white aura made them both a target and resistant.
That's a lot to unpack. The asylum, the caves. It speaks to these locations, these hotspots, potentially acting as anchors or conduits. The cleansing rituals become crucial attempts to sever those unwanted connections. The idea of an aura attracting, yet also protecting. It suggests a complex interplay of personal energy and external forces.
These places, old asylums, the Manson caves, why do they seem to attract this stuff? Is it just the history?
That's a big part of the theory. Residual energy. Places soaked in trauma, intense emotion, or dark events might hold an imprint. Think of it like an emotional echo. For those sensitive, or maybe when the veil is thin, these echoes can be perceived, sometimes manifesting intensely. Or perhaps these sites genuinely act as weak points, easier for entities, whatever they are, to cross over or interact. The history, the location, the mindset of the visitor, it all combines.
What a collection of stories. Sleep paralysis morphing into something physical, shadow men pulling souls, premonitions, demons on the phone, angels, devils, cleansings. It's overwhelming.
It really is, spanning time, geography, belief systems, yet threads connect them.
These aren't just tales, are they? They're these deeply personal moments that force us to confront the edges of our reality, the things we can't easily explain away. Leaves you with so many questions.
And maybe that's the point. When you hear these consistent elements, the paralysis, the red eyes, the feeling of a presence, the reactions to faith, the shared experiences across so many different people, what does it suggest about the world we think we know? What hidden dimensions of reality or just the human mind are we glimpsing?
Something to definitely think about. Thank you all for joining us on this pretty intense deep dive. If these stories sent a chill down your spine, please do like, share, and subscribe to Horror Docx. We'll have more for you. Until then, stay curious and maybe keep a light on tonight.